This is my favorite photo of all. When you are trying to sell a listing, what you want to do is have a nice big couch in the middle of the image that takes up half of the image so you can actually see the space. So great job here. Hello and welcome to Listing Audit, where we find questionable listings on social media. We point out the mistakes, talk about what should have been done, and then assess a final score. Scores are based on 10 different categories with a final score out of 10. Let's start the show. The listing that we are going to look at is what I would consider low effort, which is super disappointing because even just a little effort would have gone a long way. There are some bad photo angles, there is bad image quality, and there is clutter that just shouldn't be there. To start off, we are going to look at the hero shot, which should be the very best image that you have because this is the first thing that a buyer is going to see. Let's take a look at what we've got. Okay, so our first image is the front of the house. Generally, this is a good image to use. The issue here is that you don't actually have the entire house in the shot. Part of the left is kind of missing. It's mostly there, but you've got a little bit of that missing, and then the far right side, you've got a bunch of open space where you can see the neighbor's house. Another issue is you've got a vehicle parked right in front. This can happen to block the house, but realistically, just a better angle would have cut this car out entirely. So that's probably what I would have done. The other issue I see with this is there is a ton of road and driveway in this picture. Half of it is concrete. I don't know why it's shot at this angle this far back. You just want the house. You want a nice shot of the house, either straight on or at a slight angle. So there's just way too much of the ground in this, not enough of the house. The one thing that I do like here is they added in a sky replacement. They've got a nice blue sky because this was definitely a cloudy day when this was shot. So that is a nice touch. Our second photo that we have, this is far less nice. As you can see, there is a bunch of dead patches in the front grass. This is really highlighted because this is front and center. There is a yellow flag in the corner too. That should have been photoshopped out. That's just another distraction. As you get closer to the house, you can see that there is some things up front that shouldn't be there. There's a chair right by the front door. There is also a garden hose there. That should also not be there. A little less noticeable when the photo is further back, but here you can see it. That stuff shouldn't be there. And my favorite thing of all, in the far left corner is a garbage can. Now this may be the neighbor's. No, actually this looks like this is part of the property, so that should have been pulled out of the picture. It, at the very least, should have been photoshopped at the end. And the other thing too is you can see the neighbor's vehicle. It's not as big of a deal, but there's nothing here that is important. Actually, everything takes away from the house when you could have just gone with the initial front exterior photo. That would have been way better. So this is kind of just a needless photo. This shouldn't be here. So this is an interesting photo to me for two reasons. One, it's just focused on the dining room table. I'm not sure why. It's not showing the space. The dining room table actually blocks everything. So you can't see into the living room. You can see the flooring. The flooring looks nice, but that's not the intention of the photo. It's also kind of at a weird downward angle. I'm not sure exactly why. And then of course, my last pet peeve here is you can also see a bunch of cables coming off of the recliner. So that should have been photoshopped. That should be out of the shot. Once again, there isn't really any purpose for this photo other than if someone was just trying to sell their dining room table. So this isn't a great angle. With this image, I like this more than the other ones. This is a tighter shot of the living room, but you've got nice spacing to it. Everything's kind of seems in the right place. There are a few things I don't like in here, and that's the clutter. So number one, you've got the toy truck on the fireplace. You've got the fan. There is something beside the fireplace. I don't know what that is. None of that stuff should be there. That should have been removed. And it's all super easy stuff. That never should have been there in the first place. And one of my biggest pet peeves, it's not garbage cans always. This time it's Kleenex, and it's dead center on the coffee table there. Kleenex should never be in any of the pictures. So that's just one thing that is dead center. I saw right away. That shouldn't be there. Aside from that though, this isn't the worst photo. Now we're in the kitchen. There are a few things I do like here, so let's start off with that. Number one, it's nice and bright, so that's great. You can see into the dining room, so you can kind of see the flow of the house. The issue here is it's kind of a weird angle in terms of it's not really showing a lot of the kitchen. It's kind of a tighter shot, so it's more focused on the appliance, which, it is a newer appliance, so that's good. the buyer's gonna know that they have nice new appliances here. So it's not the worst shot, it's not the best shot. One thing I don't like is all the mats on the floor. You should take out all of those just to show the flooring because it is newer flooring and you really want to show that off. No one's buying the floor mats. Now my one last complaint is that everything should be removed from the countertop. The only thing that I would leave on there would be a nice green plant to add a pop of color, or a cutting board or a cookbook, something that looks like it's properly staged. Unfortunately here you've got appliances and they just add a lot of clutter and they shouldn't be there. Our next photo is another kitchen photo. I actually like this one better. I like the composition better for the kitchen because we can see more. We can see all the cupboards. We can see that there is a little more space here. The problem is that we've got even more appliances. The whole left side is full of more appliances. That stuff all needs to go. And once again, the floor mats, those should be gone. We really want to show off that flooring, not the floor mats. The first bedroom photo that we have, I don't believe this is the master. This also looks like a secondary bedroom, so this isn't the best one to show first. Remember, you always want to show your best photos first and work your way down. The weird thing with this photo is it seems like it was maybe done after by an agent because you've got a much lower image quality. It's very gray, it's very dark, and you've got a weird downward angle, which is not what you ever want in here. There is some clutter too. I would remove the baby seat, baby chair. I don't have kids. I think that's pretty obvious right there. But the baby stuff, that should be gone. The other problem is the dresser on the right side. It should be pushed over to the side of the wall. Look how much space it takes up in the photo. It blocks a lot of the room. It's not pretty, so it shouldn't be there. And if you can't remove it, at least push it to the side. And my last complaint with this photo is the bed. The bed's super boring. I wish there were some nicer pillows. There was maybe like a throw blanket there just to give it a little extra pop. But it's just, it looks like something that was just kind of slapped together. This doesn't look like an exciting bedroom. It looks boring. Okay, so here we are in the primary bedroom. This is definitely a larger bedroom. We can see that there is a much nicer bed. This is great. It's put together a little bit better. I don't like those pillows. You should have some nicer pillows that really draw the eye. Once again, this looks like this was an add-on photo later, maybe done by an agent, because it's kind of a weird angle and it's gray and it's dark and it's dirty. The angle that they're using too, you can see the dresser, you can see all the stains on the dresser. That's super ugly. The photographer should have photoshopped that out, make it just all black, or choose a different angle where we're not seeing that because it takes up quite a bit of space and it's just really ugly. Here we are in the ensuite. I really like this ensuite just from the age of this house and this neighborhood. It's probably a lot bigger than you would find in a lot of houses. I'm guessing that, from what I've seen, you wouldn't really get that shower in there. So this is actually really nice. The unfortunate thing is the photo quality is also, once again, it's an ugly angle and it's gray. It's not shot properly. The other issue is you've got soap in the shower, you've got soap on the vanity, and my favorite thing of all, a garbage can, and of course you can actually see a little bit of the toilet bowl cleaner. None of that stuff should be there. The other thing that's missing is there should be a towel on that towel rack, something with a nice color to give a little pop of color. The vanity, I would have a nice soap, something that also pops a little bit too. We've got some dated colors in here, so the more that you can add in for staging, the better, because the green's ugly. Then again too, if this was shot properly, if this was color balanced properly, that color would come out a little bit better. I'm sure it's actually a nicer color than kind of the hospital green. So this should be really, really nice, but it's just, once again, poor quality photos, poor angle, poor staging. This is my favorite photo of all. When you are trying to sell a listing, what you want to do is have a nice big couch in the middle of the image that takes up half of the image so you can actually see the space. So great job here. Now, aside from that, there are a few issues. The pillows and the blankets, they shouldn't be there. This just looks really sloppy. I can see all of the cables and extension cords coming out the right side of the picture, which also is really ugly and it's distracting. The camera angle is just wrong. This should have been moved forward. You should have the couch off to the side of the image, but you should be able to see what I'm guessing is a second couch and then be able to see the coffee table. So this is actually a nice space. It is bright. You've got what should be a good entertainment space. Somebody that sees this should be able to say, hey, you know what, this is like the perfect place for us to watch movies, or this is a great place for our kids to hang out while we enjoy ourselves upstairs in the peace and quiet. But you can't tell that from this photo because you've got a couch that's blocking half of the photo. So just really poor shot composition here. Here we are back in the basement. This is another interesting photo, another interesting angle. This looks like, once again, it was maybe shot by an agent. It's a weird angle. You've got bad muddy colors here, so it's kind of dark, it's not pretty. The nice thing is you can tell that there is a lot of space. You can see how it connects to the rest of the basement area because we can see the couch, we can see the TV in the back corner, so that we can see there is a lot of space here. The other issues we've got on the right-hand side, we've got a bunch of junk. We've got, like, none of that should be there. We've got a bed that's set up and a freezer, so this is just kind of storage area. But this doesn't really tell you what the space could be. I don't know if this is actually a good space for, you know, like entertainment. Could a pool table fit here? Is this a good spot for, I don't know, is this a bedroom? It's just hard to tell with this composition. So this, again, you could do a lot here, but nothing was done here. Now we're into another bathroom. This one, once again, it's not a great angle. You should be able to see a lot more in this photo, but it's just kind of weird that it's focused just on the vanity. And sure, you can see the shower in the reflection, but it's just not set up right. We've got a towel in the top corner that's blocking a lot of the space. It's not a pretty towel. We've got cords hanging down. We've got weird soaps or hand creams, I don't know. Everything that is on this vanity should be gone. And then we've got toilet paper in the shot on the right-hand side. And one last issue, we've got smudges on the mirror. Mirrors need to be cleaned, they need to be spotless, or they are going to show in photos. All right, those are all the photos, so now it is time to assess a score. First up is cleanliness. Is this house clean? And the answer is yes, it is clean. There are some smudges on the mirrors, but that is not enough for me to deduct any points. So for cleanliness, it gets 1 point. Number 2 is brightness. Is this house nice and bright and inviting? And the answer is kind of. There are some photos that are great. The kitchen photos are nice, the living room photo's nice, and one basement photo is nice, and everything else is dark and muddy. This is a real disappointment because this is something that everyone is going to notice, and they might not be thinking about it, but they are going to remember there was kind of a darker grayish house. So overall, I have to give this 0 points. Number 3 is spacious. Is this home nice and big and inviting? And the answer is, I can't tell. There are a couple photos. There's a kitchen photo and there is a living room photo that it looks like there's some nice space to it. But the problem is they've got a tight crop on the photos, so it blocks out a lot of it. The one basement photo is just such a disappointment because the entire couch just blocks the entire shot. The bedroom photos are kind of blocked by dressers, which is unfortunate, so not the greatest angles. And we've got that one dining room shot where the dining room table is the entire shot. So in my head, I have to assume this probably has a good amount of space, but you can't tell from these photos. So this gets a 0. Number 4 is the hero shot. This is the most important shot of all. And the one that they went with, it's not the best photo either. It's not the worst. They do have most of the house. It doesn't look terrible, but it could be better. I would have actually gone with the living room shot as the hero shot here. I think that's maybe the best angle. It's the brightest. It's the most inviting. With the one that they went with, as I mentioned before, there's way too much concrete in the shot. It takes up like half of the image. You want to be focused on what's important, and the front street isn't, as well as you've got a vehicle in the shot too, which shouldn't be there. So for the hero shot, I'm going to give this a 0. Number 5 is camera perspective, and you've already heard me complain about this. There are a bunch of shots where there's kind of like a weird downward angle. You notice that in the bedrooms and the bathrooms. With the hero shot that they have, it's a weird wide shot with mostly concrete in it. And the other shots are kind of tight with the kitchen shots, the living room shots. The crop is just really tight, so you don't see the whole space. I do like a photo that has a nice tight crop to it, but that's only if we have an establishing shot that shows the whole space. So if we had another living room shot that showed how much room there was, if it was nice and wide, and then we have this shot, this would be great. But overall, the composition just isn't great in these photos. It's not the worst, but overall, this needs to be a lot better. So I'm going to give this a 0. Number 6 is staging, and I'm going to start off with the good stuff. There is furniture in every room. I think the living room actually looks pretty nice. So that is good that it's there. There are some staging issues though. As I mentioned with the bedrooms, there are items that you should remove, the baby items, the dresser, if you could get that out of the shot because it blocks so much of it. And on the fireplace, there's toys, there's fans, none of that should be there. And of course, the biggest offenders in the bathrooms with all of the soaps and garbage cans. So for staging, I have to give this a 0. Number 7 is clutter. To follow up with the staging, what I just mentioned, the soaps, the Kleenex boxes, the garbage cans, this is all clutter that shouldn't be there. This isn't the worst offender, but it is still there. So for that, I am also going to give this a 0. Number 8 is emotion. What does this house make me feel? And to be honest, not a whole lot. Once again, because we can't see the whole house, it's hard to get that vibe of the house. I do like the living room, I think, but this is the thing, like I think it probably looks nice, but I can't see because we can't see the whole thing. The coffee table, the couch, the way it's arranged, I think this would probably be a nice living room. We can see where the fireplace is, so that's great too. But it's so hard with everything else. The basement, like I said, all you can see is couch. The bathrooms aren't inviting at all because they're darker, they're that gray muddied color. And same with the bedrooms. Like I want to see the primary bedroom and think, hey, like that's going to be my bedroom for the next 20 years. I love it. I'm super excited for it. And it's not there. I'm not excited about anything here. It's like I said, it's not a bad house by any means. It's just like it could have been shot better. It could have been staged better to show how this would be like a perfect family home. But here you're just kind of guessing. So for this, I give it a 0. Number 9 is room purpose. And here, this is actually, I would say they've done a good job here because all the bedrooms look like bedroom. The living room looks like a living room. The kitchen looks like a kitchen. The basement, they do have it set up as an entertainment area, even though they've done a poor job showing it. There is that one area in the basement where I don't know if it's like a storage room or it could be another entertainment spot, perfect for like a pool table. So that's kind of the only photo that I don't like, the only room that I can't really tell what I should do there. But for the rest of it, I think they did actually a good job here. So I'm going to give it a point. And number 10 is buyer imagination. Can a buyer imagine themselves in this house? And I would say for the most part, yes. This, from what you can see from the photos, this is a standard L-shaped house. So you're gonna have a good idea of how your furniture is going to fit in there. The living room, although it's not the best shot, you can see where the couch is. So you'd have an idea where your furniture could go. With the dining table, you could imagine your dining table there. So I think you could probably have a good imagination of what this house is and how your furniture would fit into it and kind of the lifestyle that you could have. So I am going to give it a point for buyer imagination. Overall, our score is 3 out of 10, which is our best score ever, although it's only our second video, so that's not too special. Overall, this house isn't a disaster by any means. As I mentioned at the start of the video, it just looks like there was low effort here. There are just a few simple and small changes, such as removing the clutter from the kitchen counters or the bedrooms, and having some better angles, some better photo angles that would show off the space a little bit more. And of course, my biggest gripe, which I'm assuming, I can't know for sure, I'm guessing that an agent took some photos after, just because of the downward angle of the shots. Usually that's an agent shot, and the colors are just dark and muddy, and that's nothing that you want to see in photos. So those are super simple, easy things to change. Removing the Kleenex boxes. You do that and you get a better shot of the front of the house, and you've actually got yourself a pretty good listing. So small changes here would have gone a long way. All right, thank you very much for watching the video today, and please, please, please listen to the advice I have for you so you don't make these same mistakes. And remember, as always, stand out, sell more, and rebel against bad marketing. I'll see you in the next one.